Hey, it's JC1424 once again with another album review, and today we're going to be talking about the new album from Lynyrd Skynyrd, the Black Keys, called Let's Rock. On the album cover, we have an electric chair, so we all know where that's coming from. There's a guy that got executed, and his last words were, "Let's rock," and they had the electric chair. I don't even remember what the name of the guy was, but, it was some kind of sentence to death. But this is an artist that I found through NASCAR 09 with a soundtrack. It had a song called Strange Times. Then there was FIFA 11, which was the first game I ever had on my PlayStation Portable. It had a song called Trick Pony, and I think that was the one that was made by the Black Keys. I might have that wrong. I'm not sure. But yeah, I used to hear the song by the Black Keys in that game, and then I started hearing it in like parties and stuff every now and then. And then finally, their most famous song, I'm pretty sure, is Gold on the Ceiling, and I heard that while watching Battleship that came out like 2012. It was made by the same people that made Transformers, Michael Bay and Hasbro and whatever. But my opinion on the Black Keys so far is I've listened to a few albums and I haven't been particularly blown away. Their debut album I found kind of boring, so they've come really far, that's for sure. I like this album more than that one. I have yet to hear El Camino, but that's definitely one that's on my list. I'm kind of trying to listen to them in order. I don't want to take the time to review all of them because that would just be exhausting, but I'm going to review this one because it's new and give you my opinions on it. The opening track is Shine a Little Light, and I am infatuated with how hard and gnarly the guitar is on this song. I just said gnarly in 2019. We need to bring that back. The bass is vibrant here, and it creates a strong platform for it all. The tambourine is in a lot of the tracks on this album, but here it does indeed spice it up quite a bit. And overall, this song has a way of lyrically standing up to your dark side and being intimidating. It's like, your angels are looking out for you. That's what this song feels like, just rocking out. And this is my favorite song on the album, the very first one. And it's actually one of my favorite songs of the year. That freaking guitar, man. The second track is Eagle Birds. I think the message here stays on track with the winged creatures, the eagle birds obviously being angels. Or at least I hope they are, because otherwise that feels stupid. We all need to be loved by someone, and we all have one. This song hits with a little less punch and more of a roll and drive. Until that guitar solo, though, the guitar really just kind of does whatever. What really holds this song together is them drums and the clapping. Our lead single, Low High, is the third track on this album, and honestly, I kind of like how that distorted guitar is, in a way, just rubbed in from the get-go. It's like back whenever they would turn the amp up too high, but then they would take the recording and just turn the volume down like it's fine. And it's just interesting aesthetic from the 70s and 80s that I really like here. But what I really love about the song is how the chorus and the solo are just so much louder than everything else in the song. It prevents it from feeling as if everything is just there, And then the second set of verses, they have these backing vocals there, and it makes it feel like it's an actual relevant section to the song. While this is a simple one lyrically, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, someone that's just going through all kinds of freaking emotions, tempo-wise, I do really love it. It's just, I wish it ended stronger. The fourth song is Walk Across the Water. And it was at this point that I decided that this is the kind of album I listen to if I want to go for a drive at sunrise. Like, this one is just so relaxing. I can just imagine one hand on the wheel, cup of coffee in the other. And it's well orchestrated with whoos and woos echoing in the background, the organ that comes in at the start. This song is just so cozy and warm. Those are not usually characteristics I give to a song, maybe like a Snuggie, but not a song. But I don't know how else to say it. This is the slowest song on the album, but I'd still consider it one of the best in my opinion. And it's also kind of got this romantic feeling to it as well. Track 5 is Tell Me Lies. The guitars provide a naughty aesthetic all throughout here, so they're definitely the main focus, but there is some kind of weird effect going on right now because the guitars sound like they're drowning sometimes, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to enjoy that. Most human beings do not enjoy drowning. But this is a good one. It gives me an odd feeling like it's trying to not be too loud half the time, so there's that. It used the passive-aggressive mood well, but for a slower jam, it doesn't bring anything any more intriguing to the table. Track 6 is Every Little Thing. And this is a song that really gets my attention every time it begins, with the crisp introduction and the bumpy attitude. So, someone is convinced that their ignorant behavior is for the greater good. And then this guy is just like, it's okay, you'll get what you deserve in the end. Musically, it isn't necessarily the most mind-blowing thing in the world, but it comes in with one strong chorus all around. And the guitar solo is just spot on, I'll give him that. But this song is just way better if you understand the sarcasm behind it. Track 7, Get Yourself Together, is interestingly fused into the end of the last song, which I don't mind at all. But it's the longest song on the album, and the redundancy of their sound is preventing any song from being as enjoyable as it would be alone. What truly saved the song, though, is how nice and catchy the chorus is, the weird fingering of the bass, and then yay, flanger, I guess, because they had that effect going on in the bridge, I think it was. But the meaning of the song is quite straightforward. You know, you're a mess. Get yourself together. You can choose, make up all the rules. You gotta get yourself together. Hearing track 8, Sit Around and Miss You, is always a significant experience when listening to this album for me, just because it reminds me a lot of my older brother. He moved out like 7 years ago, and things just haven't been the same since then because he joined the military and he's got his whole life going on now, so we only see him every now and then, like during holidays and or maybe someone's birthday or something like that, you know. So the verses have this playful good time feeling, and it kind of reminds you of memories. Then the chorus comes in, contrasting it completely with this feeling of absence, and it reminds me of like Disney music whenever you watch a movie and it's got this happy melody, but then whenever it's sad, the same melody plays, but they make it sound sad, and it's just like, it's like all these Disney movies that make people tear up and shit. Freaking Toy Story or Finding Nemo. Like, you can just listen to the melodies those movies have, and this is what that song kind of does. But except it's got lyrics, so I can apply it to myself in this case. I just have trouble with how the outro of this song has the guitar volume up freaking 300% for whatever reason. Sit around and miss you. I miss you all for bed now. The third single before the release of the album is Go, and that is track 9. Man, this song sounds like it's supposed to be in some kind of Kia commercial. I don't want to say Toyota or Nissan or Honda. They probably got better music than this one does. But they just took their sound and made something generic out of it. Like, this is them being generic of themselves. The song even fades out at the end. I haven't heard a song by a band that I like just fade out in quite a while, actually. The only aspect of this that I really admire is how it has this drop tempo part of the bridge, and you could just freaking start dun, 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 and it just freaking pops out of nowhere. So there's that, but then everything else is just kind of standard mainstream of themselves. As the album goes on, they seem to run out of ideas and ways for them to have both dynamic and passion at the same time. Track 10 is Breaking Down, and this song starts off weird. The guitar has this goofy choice effect on it, and I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be fun. And then they just make this random transformation into it being a dark-versed, battle-strong chorused sonic beast. But the energy comes in, and I get it. And especially the way it has that smorgasbord ending for once. I've been wanting that all album where everything piles up and it's just boom for the end of the song. So it's like, at first I don't like it, and then I love it, and then I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's very confusing. Also, how many choruses in this album have to start off with amp overload? Track 11 is Under the Gun, and probably the most Lynyrd Skynyrd sounding thing on the entire record. At least until the guitar solo begins, of course. This honestly feels like it should have been the last song on the album, too, because it has this way of being really fast and building up, and then the final chord rings out really long, and it's just kind of the best way to end an album, but no, we have a 12th track after this one. Clearly about making some kind of great escape. It reminds me heavily of this song from 2017 by Nickelback called For the River. Now, I don't even know if the Black Keys fan base would have the balls to admit that this is basically the same song, just a different genre. The final song on this album is Firewalk With Me, and tends to be my least favorite song on the album just because of the pacing of the whole thing. If the track listing was different, I think I'd probably like this one a little bit more, because I know a lot of other people that have talked about this album and reviewed it have felt a little bit better about this track for an album ender. But I tell you, this is the third or the fourth song on this album that starts out with the drums. Like, so many songs in this album just start out with drums and drums alone. That's just something that I caught after a while. But yeah, I've heard it all at this point. The oohs in the background, the amp overload, and the crunchy guitar and the clapping. And the things that do stand out to me this song would be the acoustic in the mix. I feel like it's really there quite well. And then there's some cowbell in the background that I never heard any other point on this album. Maybe I didn't notice it, but I certainly caught it here. And this is kind of a dance song, so it's got to have a cowbell. And, well, Firewalk With Me, I guess this song is just about trying to convince someone to go dancing with you, because walking on fire, it's, I guess, dancing. Or maybe he's like, you know, go the highway to hell, or, you know, go to hell, go through hell with me, like, I love you, we should love each other. I don't know what kind of song this is now that I think about it, but I swear it's got to be some kind of dancing song with the rhythm it has. But after a while, this album did just kind of wear me out, but no song on this album was just completely unenjoyable. They all had some great aspects. Some of them were just way more than others, and some of them they were just kind of same song as another song. So it's just very consistent sound. It could be a good thing or a bad thing, of course. But my final opinion and score of Let's Rock by the Black Keys in 2019 is a 79%. I swear I've given that score to some other album. A 79% basic with me is a C, just kind of middle of the road, not like a C plus or C minus. But yeah. Now I gotta get out of here. I got work in a few hours. I'm gonna edit this video. It's gonna come out the day after I record it, and I'm gonna listen to El Camino tonight. I'll make you guys that promise. And just, if you want to hear my opinions on El Camino, just go down in the comments. I'll let you know. Right? Maybe I'll just I'll post it, or like pin it in the morning before the video comes out or something like that. But yeah, that's my opinions on the new Black Keys album, and my first album review in like freaking 7 months. I haven't reviewed one since the Circles album by POD, which was, I think I liked that one a little more than this one. Maybe not. It was much more diverse and dynamic. But yeah, I also have to review 311's new album, which comes out this Friday. It's titled Voyager, and I've listened to it like freaking 8 times at this point. I freaking love that album, and yeah, I got early access to it. I freaking pre-ordered the thing. It is amazing, and I cannot wait to talk to you guys about that one. See you next time. That's that, and album review over.